you play games like Street Fighter and Guilty Gear, you have your grappler, right? Which in Street Fighters is Zangief, and in Guilty Gear you have Potemkin, right? Now in Tekken we have the Kings. I'm mainly talking about King, but Armor King does deserve an honorable mention. So when you're up against the Zangief, you have a few options, right? You have neutral duck, you have jump, and you have take the throw, which just means you eat a throw, right? Does damage, but at least you're not getting comboed. This game, you have a few options, right? So you have sidestep, jump. You mainly use with hop kicks and knees, like air knees. Most people do not jump like this, but for the purposes, I will just say jump. You have duck. In Tekken 8, the devs decided to give them steroids in the game model and in gameplay. So, you know in 2D fighters when you jump? Yes, that is our version of sidestep, right? Where you step into the foreground and you evade attacks, right? Now, by default, throws do not track. As you see, there's no trail. Not that move. There's no trail, like such, around their arms. So they do not track. So the game's dev said, why shouldn't they? You know what I mean? Why shouldn't they just track you? So this is virtually a hits you while jumping throw in a 2D game, right? It is an option that is completely removed. So you're like, okay, well, how about actually jumping? Well, it turns out that both of the throws used are combo enders. You don't want to crouch, you can't jump, and you can't sidestep. Okay, so they must not have a good way to get in, correct? They both have wave dash. Okay, so they must be lacking different tools, like maybe they don't launch very well. That is wrong. Okay, so what is the weakness? Absolutely nothing. He also has this. Which you're like, well, what is this? He eats your move. And then has a heat gauge. He also has tracking throws, like Armor King. Now Armor King trades off for his throws for bad Oki, but he does get wall. He does get wall interactions. Armor King, King does not have this problem. He has some of the best Oki in the game. Because look at this. You are right next to the opponent. Look at this. You are right next to the opponent, and you cannot do anything about it. So, you're asking, what must be the what's the weakness? There is none. Because it keeps getting worse. He has this, which is the scariest mid in the game. 64 damage on counter hit, 60 damage on default, 70 damage in rage. Range 3, that is very far. Okay, so what's the problem? How is this character so strong? Well, he's still, it gets even worse, okay? was a 13 frame mid counter hit launcher. Now, this is Twitch confirmable. I can do it. So, it's not the hardest thing to do, right? So, this is a very good poke already. -6. But, the second hit launches you anyway. You don't need the second hit. Right? You do not need the first hit to counter hit for this to launch. Okay? So, already a scary option. Okay? Now, other characters such as Steve have a 13 frame counter hit launching high. In Bandai Namco's Infinite Wisdom, they gave him a 12 frame counter hit launcher. And you must be thinking, wow, he's getting a lot of counter hit launchers. Huh. Yeah, he just so happens to have the best Oki out of every single character in this game. How this throw is put you, okay? Does very chunky damage. This was 3 hits, 61 damage. And look how close I am. Look at how close the kings are, right? This is every single combo. Where is the weakness here? Well, nothing. Well, you can see, this looks like a 1+2 grab, correct? Look at the animation is very close to a 1+2 grab. Okay? Now, you break this by pressing 1 or X or square, you know, that button. Right? This is broken by pressing both X and /Y and Y. Now, he also has a move like this. He has Shining Wizard. Now, it has the exact same animation of a 1+2, right? But this is actually broken with 1+2. Okay? Now, actually good king players can actually mix this up in your face. Your only option is to sidestep or duck, right? Because remember, jumping / panic buttons do not work. Well, if he's in heat, they track. Both of them track. Every single grab tracks, okay? Now, he used to be able to gain heat back, which was later removed this patch, 3.01. Very good change. It just so happens you eat 70 damage, 75, it's a blue spark. So, all you need is 2 grabs at a wall, and then a few pokes. You're dead. That is roughly the same amount of time this is. Okay? And it doesn't take any heat to use this like some other moves. Now, let's talk about the second biggest problem. Jaguar's Pro. He has a plus on block high, a launching mid in a charge, which is in a heat. You do this automatically. Okay? You have a low, which at charge knocks down and does unscaled damage at the wall, which I will talk about later. Okay? He also has a tracking option. Tracking plus on block mid, plus on block tracking mid, a tracking throw that's unbreakable, a plus on block high, a launching mid that is very safe, and a knockdown low in charge. Think, okay, this is a very strong stance. How does one get into it? Well, yes, his basic wall combo does this. So, he has good advancement. He can advance, and this also becomes armored in heat. This is armored in heat. And already charged, so... So, if you don't want to take the mix-up off of rip, boom, you eat damage. Which puts puts you farther away, correct. But you don't have to do this. He has ground throws. Don't ask me how to do them. I don't know. I can't lie. There we go. So he has ground throws. On top of you not wanting to take the mix, you just get thrown off the ground. Situation over. Situation back to where it was, okay? You're grounded. Right in front of the opponent's face. What are you doing? Oh, you stayed on the ground? Extra damage. Oh, and by the way, some extra damage on the ground. All this for not wanting to get up. And this is pure health, not recoverable. Okay. He also has weight dash. So, if you don't want to get up, he's still in your face. If you want to roll around, you're still in the opponent's face. And you can still do every single option that I brought up. In the devs' ultimate wisdom, they are refusing to nerf this guy. Because I will go through patches for this character that I remember anyway. Okay, Season 1, every throw tracked by default. This throw track, these throws tracked, every single throw tracked by default at the launch of Tekken 8. Okay? So they removed this, justifiably so, but kept the generic throws for everybody. So these track, these are easier to break and shorter range, correct? To justify this change for King, they gave him a wave dash to close in and keep tracking while you're waving. Okay. So Season 2 throws now track again, but in heat. Okay. So why does he still have a wave dash? We do not know. Now this used to be canceled. This was actually nerfed very well. This used to be a armored launcher because you would cancel it into hop kick. Right? So this used to be an armored launcher. So this was hit, but the throws were buffed to absurdity now. So these track. And if you look at the fancy little frame data thing I have in the corner, you will notice these are 10 frames. Now, for some Street Fighter and Guilty Gear players, this is the fastest move that can be put out in the game. Now, there are some exceptions, mainly in back turn, but mainly it's this type of move. This is the fastest move you can do, right? A 10-frame jet. Okay, so these are very strong, but you gotta input all those in the corner very quickly. Bufferable. You don't need to do it. You can do it as fast or as slow as you want after a move, including the while running throw. So remember this. The ultra delayable hit confirmable mid, that's -10. So, you don't want to duck against the second mid, but you want to try and get out. Well, you just ate a throw for your troubles. And this gets even worse in E, because you try to sidestep, tracked, can't do anything. Take the damage. Oh, you want to break it? Just do it. Just do another one. Oh, they have bad reactions? Do a different one. Just mix them up. You would be thinking, okay, maybe he's very hard to pilot, correct? Well, you wouldn't be completely wrong if Jaguar Sprint didn't think the mix-up game was easy as possible. Because, in all honesty, it is very hard to mix this up very well, right? You can't just be one day, alright, mix up Shining Blizzard and Giant Throw, right? Also, I forget to mention, this is unreactable. So this is an unreactable 50-50 guess on whether it's a mid or the throw, right? You cannot react to this 100% of the time. Now, in offline, it is said you can react to this, but I've been seeing a lot more people get hit by this every single day. So I do not know if it is actually unreactable. So when you get a character that has a literal 50-50 stance, that it can be armored, and instantly it has best reward in heat. His heat tracks every single throw, so you cannot sidestep. Has good lockdown tools, and good tracking moves in general. Right? Has good initiation. Has very good pokes. It cannot be understated how good his pokes are right now. Okay? He has good counter hit buttons. Right? He has good counter hit buttons. He has pretty good wall travel. So he will most likely hit a wall whenever he combos you. Except for those ones are a little funky. And he has the best wall combo in the game. Into this unreactable 50-50 stance. So there is no weakness, and he gets some of the best, most entitled moves in the game. Correct? And people still say this character is dog shit. I will not understand. Simple interaction. You will eat almost half your life. I don't have the number up, but this is almost half your life. Okay, 38 plus 45. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 80 damage off of a string into a mix that he lost. Your health is 180. That's almost half of your life. And now he's in heat. Well, tracking throws, heat smash. Well, now you're in a recipe of disaster. What do? Well, you just give up. There's nothing you can do. Like, now this isn't infinite. Yes, a knowledge check infinite. Knowledge check infinite, but it's still technically an infinite. So if you do not know how to get out of that, you will die. Now, a lot of people, I've actually hit this a few times in an actual game. I haven't two-tapped quite as many people, but I've still two-tapped a few times. The fact that this is possible is a little... It's really cool, but I feel it will be taken out. But that's about it. I know this video is kind of a mess, but my mind's a little unmade up. I'm liking Kuni, but it's just... I don't know if these characters should be doing all this. There should definitely be some nerfs to both characters, especially King, but even Armor King with his sidestep 2 and such. These characters do need to be looked at, and I'm surprised they are skating by without any. So that aside, I hope you guys enjoyed. I will probably be live by the time this video comes out, so you know, come by the Twitch. But anyway.